Yes, sir. What's going on, Kiss the Tray? How you doing, young man? Give me just a second here. I'm going to go ahead and put my trusty earpiece on so I can hear you. Oh. Hello, Miss Dream Girl. How are you today? As always, good to see you. Hope you're going to stay around. We're getting ready to do an interview with Mr. Kenny Horton, pro basketball player, stuff like that. So that's going to be real good. All right, let's see. There we go. And
Yuri.
what's going on, young brother?
Not much. How you doing?
Give me 1 second here. Give me
All right.
1 second here. I'm just trying to.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me? What's going on,
Yeah.
young man?
Not
How
much. How
you
you doing?
doing? Man, I am, as always, happy to see you, man. You know what I'm saying?
Same here. Same here.
Uh, oh, man, how's the weather down there? Because I know it's got to be hot.
Man, listen. This humidity and I don't know. Like right now, I think it's like 90 or pushing 90. It's different. It's different.
Yeah, man, that's what happens, man, when you're hanging out in the big time. You know what I'm saying?
It's it's the this heat down here is different. I don't know. I can't describe it. It gets hot fast.
I know, but this is what's crazy about down there. I noticed that if it's hot in the sun, you're gonna feel it. You go into the shade, you feel the difference, like big time difference.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
you
Sure.
you just gotta know which tree to go under.
Yeah, you gotta pick your spots. You gotta pick your spots.
Hey, hey, Kenny, man, I just want to thank you, man, for being here today, man. I know you got a lot going on in your life, man, and I hope that we can do another interview soon. But
Yeah.
today,
No
man,
problem.
I definitely want to talk to you about some of the things that are going on in today's world.
Yeah.
Um, and some of the things as I don't want to sound like a cliche, but as a young black man living in this world, pro athlete,
Yeah.
um, I know that it's always a concern um, how you live in your life and how people are going to view it,
Yeah.
what image you're giving, and um, and we all get it, man. It's a tragedy what's happened, but what are some of the things that you've been doing personally to keep yourself above water and to keep yourself to keep your mental and keep your family in a certain place so they'll feel safe and protected?
I mean, honestly, since well, you already know, since I just moved down here to into North Carolina, um, like I've been in the news a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been reading the news and watching it and seeing all the protests and you know the riots and just trying to keep up with everything that's going on. And it's a lot, man. Like like me and my wife, like we've talked about it. And we want to go out and like to the protests and stuff like that, and just be a part of it, and be out there. You know what I mean? Because this is a time where we have to be out there to let our voices be heard and to show that we're, you know, that that we're really just tired of the the treatment that the black community is facing. Like like this treatment has been going on for hundreds of years. You know what I mean? And we've talked about it, like trying to get out there, but you know, since we have our young daughter and it's just us down here, it's like you never know how these protests can turn into something dangerous quick, as you've seen on the news. Like things just go left in an instant, and
Correct.
me personally, I don't want to put my wife or my daughter in that situation where something can go left and something happens. So I've stayed away from the protest and stuff, but you know, um, yeah, hi baby. Um, I've stayed away from the protests and everything like that. But I'm just trying to keep my ear to everything and stay current, and anything that I can do to help. As far as like I've signed petitions, I've donated money. I'm just trying to do anything that I can do to help since I can't. I'm not physically out there, to be a part of the protest and things like that.
Kenny, it makes a lot of sense because people keep forgetting that we still have the coronavirus out there as well.
Exactly. Exactly.
And we have to be more than just, something goes left, like you said, you have your wife, your daughter, even yourself. If you get caught out there and something happens, now all of a sudden, and you just came out of the midst of the jungle when you were just in Italy. Why don't you share with us what it was like living in Italy during that time where you pretty much couldn't do anything or go anywhere? I mean, it's not like here. I heard over there was really intense.
Yeah, so where I was at in Italy, I was in basically, if you want to say like the heart of the coronavirus in Italy. So where we were in our region was the most, it had the most cases of the coronavirus in the country. And I don't know if at the time that I was there, it might have been in the world. I think that was the most, the coronavirus was the heaviest in the world in that region. So what they had us doing was, well, before that, they like once it started growing, like it was growing like every other day, it was like doubling, like the number was doubling.
Right.
So we had games, and I remember one game we had after it was over. Excuse me, sorry. After it was over,
That's all right.
there was talks. There was talks about the next game being canceled. So I'm like, here we go. And for sure enough, the next game was canceled. Then we hear
Wow.
from coach, they might cancel the next two games.
Mm.
A couple of days later, the next two games. And then after that, I lost all faith. I'm like, this is about to be done. Like, I know it. And they kept trying to drag it on and stuff like that. But then slowly but surely, like, you hear from the government, like, they don't want anybody outside. They want to limit people in the stores. If you don't have to be outside, don't. And it got to the point where they shut everything down. I think we were the first country in the world to shut everything down. Like,
completely.
You can't be outside. Like, if you're caught outside, then you get fined. I think it was like 1,000 euros or something like that. If you're caught outside.
Wow.
So like it was crazy. It was crazy. And then it got to a point where they were like, all right. Then it started you can only be outside if it's like if you have a purpose. Like if you're trying to go to, like for us, we had to go to the gym because we still had to work out.
Yeah.
So
you still had to put in work.
We had to go to the gym and practice and stuff because nobody knew when, like, if this was going to be a quick thing or not. So we was going to the gym and practicing and then just going straight home. So
wow.
It was crazy. And then the crazy thing is, though, and what I'm most thankful for is that right before everything got crazy, my wife and my daughter, they left. So they got on the plane like maybe 3 days before it really got crazy. They made it through the airport just fine, made it through New York just fine, and then all hell just broke loose in Italy. Like, it was crazy. It was crazy.
Wow. Man, I mean, were you guys allowed to go shopping, or did they have to bring food to you? I mean, how did that work?
They let you go shopping. They let you go to the store. But I think at one point it felt like they were monitoring how much you were at the store.
Wow. Man.
But the good thing is that at the stores will always stock. The stores will always stock. Like, it's not like here where like you're scrambling for toilet paper and all this other stuff. Stores will always stock. Always.
Yeah.
Hey,
wow,
hey,
man.
Yuri, let me just take a quick break. I gotta go get my phone charged. My phone about to die.
All right, go right ahead, brother.
I'll be right back.
Yes, sir. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, what's crazy is that a lot of us think that, we got it bad in the tri-state area, but in Italy, I remember Kenny was telling me before, we was talking when he was overseas that there was just so much stuff going on over there. Like, it was like almost like martial law in a way over there. So, you know, we got to also remember now, we can't just sit here and say, hey, we have this racial issue, which we do. We also got to remember we also have this coronavirus, which we do. We have a ton of different things that are going on in our world right now that we have to keep ourselves at a certain level keep our head at a certain level. And that's one of the things that, when I was talking with Kenny, when he was over there, that he was so blessed that his wife and his baby had left. And when they got to the States, he was just very happy they made it safe. But he still had a job to do in Italy and make sure that that was still going forward and so. But Kenny, I was sharing with people out there, when I had spoke to you when you was out there during that time, how it was just crazy. It was almost like martial law out there, where people just,
Yeah.
and I think that, and there's just no disrespect to to Italy, but their resources for healthcare is not the same as it is here.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and a funny thing, me and my wife, we were just talking about that with my mother earlier this morning, just about healthcare in general, like compared to the U.S. and Europe, and most places in the world. Just talking about how the U.S. is the only country that doesn't have free healthcare.
Wow.
So like overseas, let's just say if I was overseas and I was to get the coronavirus, and I had to be in a hospital for a month, knock on wood. Like anything that happened to me in that time, like in the
Yeah, yeah,
hospital,
yeah,
like fees and stuff like that,
yeah.
healthcare pays for that stuff.
Right, right, right,
You know what
right,
I'm
right,
saying?
right,
So
right.
and even when my wife and my daughter are over there with me, like anytime they need to see a doctor and everything like that, like it's covered. All we have to do is just make the appointment. As to where over here, you can go to a doctor for, you know what I'm saying, for the littlest thing, and that might run you $150. You know what I'm saying? Like, or
Right,
if you
right,
have to go
right,
to the
right.
hospital, you might be looking at a $2,000 bill
Yeah, yeah,
for
yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. You know what I mean? Like, so, but I mean, it's like U.S. for sure in my mind has some of the best doctors in the world and the best treatments in the world. Most countries they're not going to compare to the United States when it comes to that type of stuff. So like that's not really something that um, I don't think is news to everybody, but like some things that you just see how they do things overseas, and you're just like, wow, like back home they do it completely different. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
crazy.
So let me ask you a question, man. More of because I know you have a time limit today, man. You got things that are going on down there, but um, let's talk a little bit about sports, man.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit sports, man. And I'm a Philadelphia 76ers fan. Just to throw that out, you man. Just want to make sure you understood the realm that I'm in. I'm still hurting from not having a championship in so long.
Right.
um, but what do you think of this NBA thing they're trying to put together?
Honestly, I think it's good. I just think it's good, um, just because of what's happening. Everybody right now is a time where things start to get crazy in the NBA as far as playoffs and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I think finals might be going on right now usually. Um, so I think it's good that they've set a date, and they're gonna bring the game back. Everybody's been wanting that, and um, you know these sports have already lost a whole lot of money, like a whole lot of money, just because of
yeah.
not being able to play because of the COVID-19. So I think it's good that it's coming back. It gives people something to look forward to.
Right,
Especially
right,
now
right.
with with things going on in the society. Like, I think people need something positive and something good to look forward to. You know what I'm saying? And just coming from an athlete's perspective, I know I'm itching to play. If they can't play, the fans know that, you know, just put on a show and go out there and do what you love. But I think it's a great thing that they're bringing it back.
I know that they were talking about it on some on one of the sports shows, and they always got their opinions about this is too much, but I just believe that
Yeah,
you have
for
an
sure, for sure.
I believe you have an opportunity to get out there and give the fans what they want. They want to see basketball
Yeah,
before they have to wait until October, September. I mean, October
exactly.
when the NBA season for preseason, all that stuff to take off. They want to see something now. But I will say
Yeah, for
this.
sure, for sure.
I will say this, and I want you. I'm just thinking about this. This is actually good for a lot of NBA players having this
Yeah,
time off.
absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
hey, Deb. So here's something because LeBron gets that extra time off to rest that body. That might give him that extra oomph to wait for his son to
Yeah,
try to get to the next level.
yeah. But it's like it's also good. Like, of course, it's good for like the top guys like LeBron, Kawhi, Giannis, and the top tier guys. But think about this. It's also good for the guys that are looking for a contract for next year, or guys that what I'm saying, guys that have a like maybe two-way guys, like guys that have two-way contract from the G League that are on a roster right now in the NBA. This gives them, like, if the season didn't come back, their time to show what they got was cut. So now it's
Right,
coming back. They got time. Anything could happen. A two-way guy could go into the first couple of games and go off and set himself up for a contract for next year. As to other
right,
guys
right,
whose teams
right.
aren't in, they're just, what I'm saying, they're fresh out of luck. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So it gives guys another opportunity to go out there and get after it and hope and make something else happen for themselves. So I think it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be very interesting to see how this thing plays out when it starts up again.
Now, I know your guys' season got cut short, and you guys are going through a whole lot of craziness out there. But my question is that what happens to you guys now? What's the next step for you guys now overseas?
Um, well, I mean, there's a like it all, and honestly, it all depends on the country and the team because like top teams in Europe, they have money, so they're able um, to move a little differently than other teams that necessarily don't have the money or as much money. So there's
Gotcha.
guys in like EuroLeague, which is the top league in Europe, that are it almost seems like nothing has affected these teams because they're still signing guys to multi-year contracts and this, that, and the third. But as far as like somebody like me, which is the only guy that I can speak for, um, like right now it's just a waiting game, really. You know what I mean? Like I
Right,
just
right, right.
a few weeks ago, I signed the agreement deal with the team to like for the rest of the money that was on my contract, um, and so I'm okay because um, I'm still getting paid until July, so I'm fine. But after that, it's like what's the next step as far as what teams are the leagues going to start on time? Because usually they start like guys usually first week between first and second week in August to go over. So what happens this year? Like, is it the same? Is the season going to start the same time, like in September sometime, or is it going to be pushed back to October? You
Right,
know what I'm
right,
saying?
right,
So
right, right.
it's a whole bunch of things that go into it that nobody really knows because nothing like this has happened before. Like this is the first time ever that this has happened to like the sports leagues and stuff overseas. So like nobody really knows what's going on. So it's just like I really can't say what's happening. because I honestly don't know.
So here's a question, man. What is the process like? There's a lot of young guys out there that want to go play pro ball.
Right.
And some of them, some of them want to play in the NBA. Some of them just, and some of them want to play ball and continue to play ball and want to go overseas and play. What are some words of wisdom for them when they graduate from college? I know EJ is on his way overseas. EJ Crawford Jr.
Oh, is he where? You know where?
I forgot where he signed. I truly forgot. Him and his father and him had posted today. He had signed to go somewhere overseas. I forget where. But I'll look it up.
He's a good player. I've watched his game from when he was before he even went to school. He definitely evolved, and he's definitely got talent. I think he'll definitely be good overseas.
Yeah, because
He reminds me of one of these guys that I know. His name is Ryan Pearson. He's played in France for the last couple of years, but we worked out in Cali after I graduated from Central, and we worked out for the summer in Cali, and he's been overseas killing it. Like he's a really good player. They kind of have the same type of game.
Right. I know. Talking with when I was talking with EJ last summer, we were at the league where Chris Prescott and Steve Sammy, they got the league and stuff. Yep. And I remember because EJ came to the gym.
Okay.
EJ came to the gym and got some workouts in with us and stuff like that last year.
Ain't no joke, boy. we get into that another time. I work out different.
Yes. I showed EJ what I was gonna do with him for the workout. And he was like, "Nah," he got scared. He got shook because I pulled out the big tire on him and I showed him some stuff that we can do to get him nice and strong. But he's like, "Not right now, coach. Not right now." I was like, "All right."
And the crazy thing that you mentioned, that workout that we did last year, it wasn't even a lot. Like usually, like I can do those workouts like no problem because overseas the workouts are very intense. But I don't know what it was about that day. It was just that was just like that workout.
We do things.
That workout hit me a knockout punch. I'm like, whoa.
Well, those workouts that we try to do workouts that are geared to different parts of the body that people are not used to working out. And getting those parts of the body in sync with the rest of you that you normally do. But I know EJ and also Mustafa was at basketball camp back in the day.
Yeah, Mustafa. Yeah, I want to know.
Yeah, him and
probably trying to go league.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything from him yet. See if I can get in touch with his dad soon and find out what his plans are. Because I know that after he left from Auburn, he came back up here, play at St. John's for a minute. Yeah, because he had some things going on back at home and stuff. He wanted to be close. Hey, what's up, EJ? I don't know. You remember EJ? He used to play at Sacred Heart.
Who?
EJ. He just logged in just now. You remember? Because EJ worked at Connecticut School of Basketball. He just went over to Tennessee for his senior year right now.
Oh,
he just
really?
left. Yeah. You would like EJ's game. EJ
I think I seen a video. Was that him on a video I seen? Did he dunk over somebody or something like that?
Yeah, that's the video I posted. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's EJ. You will like EJ. EJ reminds me of you when you were at camp, because he was he was like, he gets involved with the kids. He engages with them. He has fun with them and talks a little trash with them. But he's really a good dude. Really good dude. I really enjoy. I did an Instagram live with him not too long ago, man. It was real good talking with him and stuff like that. And he has a lot of big shoes to fill down in Tennessee. Be talking a little trash to him, And I know he's feeling that heat. He's like not too far from you. Maybe you two should get together and get some workouts in.
This down south heat ain't no joke.
I'm telling you.
I ain't never gonna let that go.
Hey, man, listen, man. I know we got probably like another 5, 10 minutes left, man, and
Yeah, actually,
hopefully we get.
we can keep going. I'm just waiting until until somebody comes and lets me know that it's time to get things started.
Absolutely. So one of the things that one of my cousins, they live right down in this area,
Hmm.
North Carolina A&T, the
Okay,
Aggies,
Aggies.
Greensboro. Yeah. So I got a cousin who actually works there as a professor there at the school. I mean, not a professor, but he works in the computer department. That's what he specializes in. This he is no joke. You ain't lying about that,
You ain't
EJ.
lying, brother.
So, uh-oh, wait a minute.
She right
Uh-oh,
inside.
and the warden has shown up. Hey, how you doing? It's good to see you. Yeah, that heat down there is no joke. Uh, yeah, I know all about that heat. So listen, some of our family members down there were talking about, hey, you let Kenny and the family know we're right here in Greensboro. When he gets settled in, man, let's get together. My cousin Joey, he graduated from UNCG out of Greensboro
Okay.
also. So
Oh yeah,
he says
I
when it
think
gets,
you was telling me about him one day when we was on the phone.
yeah. So he says when you get a chance, man, get us all together. Let's hook up and maybe we can sit down and go out and eat, man, and hang out, man. Let him know. And we got some people because he's originally from Atlantic City.
Okay.
Absolutely. And he's always in New York because my uncle's been in New York and Brooklyn for the last, God, 45, 50 years, retired
Wow.
school teacher. Oh, I hear you, EJ. I hear you, EJ. Amy knows about that heat too. So listen, man, what are some of the things that you can tell these young people out here to let them know what's really going on out here when it comes to getting into the league where you're at that level? What is it that they really need to focus on and what they need to do? And what is it that you can do to help them along the way?
I mean, honestly, um, I tell this to all of the all of the guys that that are getting out of college now when they're trying to trying to get into the European game, or even if they want to try their luck and try to get into the NBA. And I say try their luck because the NBA is so hit or miss. Like you have to like somebody really needs to either take a chance on you, or you need to be you really need to stand out and make a team say, you know what, we need him, or he can probably do something for us. You know what I mean? And like me personally, like it came to a point where I went to Cali to work out, and I was waiting for the draft and everything like that, and I didn't get drafted. Then it came to a point you know what's next. So the teams that I worked out for, they were saying they want me to go overseas and get experience. So that's what I did, and then it got to a point where it's like, do I even want to try my luck back in the league, or do I like traveling and making my money over here and experiencing different countries and traveling, and you can't beat that. So to the guys that are trying to come out, I sum it up to this: be realistic, and also once you realize exactly what's your most uh what you really want, because of course everybody wants to make it to the league, like NBA, of course. But once you got to factor in all the things about traveling, money, tax free money over in Europe, tax free money, and then you got to factor in um, all the other stuff, traveling, lifestyle, you know. And for the skills part, you have to figure out what you're good at, make that your best attribute. Don't slack on that. Like me, I'm a shooter. You already know I'm a shooter.
Absolutely. Kiss the tray.
I'm a shooter. So that's one of the things that I focus on when I'm in the gym. I work on everything else, yeah, of course, but shooting is my focus. I'm a shooter. Teams know that I'm a shooter. So when I get jobs and I'm talking to coaches and things like that. That's the first thing they tell me. Like, we know you're a great player, you're a great guy. We know what you can do on the court. You know, you shoot very well from outside, and your face-up game, the way just your shot is a key as to why you're on this team. They told me, we know that you can rebound, you run the floor very well, you can play defense, a help side defender and things like that. Like you have to make these teams know that they're not, number one, they're not wasting their time, and number two, they're not wasting their money.
That's right.
Because once you leave college, there's no more like you're not being baby no more. It's a business. Everything is a business. So if you're not performing to where the team feels you should be performing, it's a business. Like they will let you go and they'll bring somebody else in. So look at it as a business. Don't go in there half stepping, because when you half step, they'll pull a rug right out from under you and send you home.
That's right.
So
That's
you got to
right.
focus in on one thing, and that's a lot of guys' mistake. They have their everybody has their sights set on the NBA. They don't look at the other picture. Everybody doesn't focus, have that in the back of their mind, like, okay, the NBA might not work, so overseas could probably be where it's at for me. Or from the jump, I want to go overseas. So, just make a choice, man. Make a choice. If the NBA is what you want to do, you got to be prepared for that, because you go G League. I know guys that have been in the G League a long time and haven't got called up or nothing like that. It's a whole lot of factors that go into it, man. But you already know. Like I'm open to talking to anybody. Helping guys out. You know what I mean? As much as I can. Advice or whatever the case is. You know what I mean? I can put your name out there and things like that. To as much as I can, like I said. But any advice these guys need, I got it. I've been playing for 2012, so I've been playing for 8 years. 8 years now. Next season will be 9. So, I got I'm pretty well rounded in the European market.
Hmm.
What's going on over there. So,
Yeah, I was sitting there listening to some. I was listening to some of the young people inside the gym last summer, and I listened to some of the kids in the neighborhood and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I listened to them that they have a lot of people that are gassing their heads up. They're really gassing their heads up really bad. And, they have to have this particular brand of sneakers. I got to have this particular brand of clothes, this particular brand. And then when they play basketball, they don't have the skill set to match what they're trying to look like or give the appearance of. And I said some of the best players I've ever played against in my life had on some broken down shoes.
Mike, what's up? Yeah.
Have you met Mike Jones? Hey, hey, Ken. You remember
Yeah,
Mike?
we met at LA Fitness when I was living in South Windsor. Last year.
Yeah,
Yeah, last year when I was living in South
yeah,
Windsor.
yeah. You're breaking up, he said. We're back on now live, man.
We good?
Yeah, we're good. Me and
All
you are
right.
good. So, yeah, Mike and I, Mike is a really good guy. He's doing this thing called isogenics. And he's
Yeah,
been doing that
yeah.
for quite some time now. Yeah, he lost like 8 pounds in this past week since he
Dang.
started. Yeah. Uh-oh, there's the wifey, Deb. uh, yeah, we're doing good over here, Mike, man. We're doing good, man. So Kenny, man, can is it okay for some of these young people, man, to get in touch with you, man, in some kind of capacity?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. If they want, they can DM me. I am underscore K Hort. You know what I'm saying? They can DM me there, or they can DM me at Kiss the Tray. You know what I mean? I answer my DMs. I'll get back to you, and we can go from there. Any questions y'all got? Feel free to holler at me. I'm around.
Now, one of the things that love you, little sis. Oh, him and my wife be killing me, man. Those two have me laughing all the time, man. They're the funniest two ever. You know, I get it from her, and then I gotta get it from him. It's like tag team back again. Hey, Kenny, man. Now listen, man. Who's your starting five right now as a center? Your top starting five centers. I mean, it's an all-center team. I ain't talking about no guards, no Jordans, no nothing. You got to pick nothing but 5 big men to play on your team, and those are the ones that are going to play the whole entire season for you starting. 5 centers. They're going to be your guard. They're going to be your forwards. They're going to be your centers. All 5 centers. Who are they?
All 5 are centers.
Yes.
For sure, Shaq.
Oh, man. You really went monstrous off the rip. All right.
For sure, Shaq. And you said all 5 centers, just the 5 position.
That's your starting 5, and they all have to play them. They all have to be 5s.
Okay. All right. They all have to be 5. So I'm gonna go with Shaq.
All right, you got the diesel.
I'm gonna go with Shaq. I'm gonna go with Akeem Olajuwon.
All right. Versatile right there. Power forward center. Yep.
Shaq, Akeem Olajuwon. I'm gonna go with Bill Russell.
Gotcha.
Bill
Team
Russell.
player.
I feel like I gotta take Wilt because Wilt was a bucket getter.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
And my last one, I'm gonna go with. See, I want to pick a center that's kind of diverse. Oh, I'm gonna go with. Because if I had to go with all 5s, I need a center that could play point. I need somebody to go ahead and run the ball. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna take Joker from the Nuggets. I forget how you say his name, but I'm gonna take him.
Oh, you kidding me?
He got a little bit of everything with his game. He's not a typical 5, so.
Gotcha. All right, man. I see how you're working with it. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, right off the rip, Kenny, I'm about to eat you up right now, bro, with my squad.
Go ahead.
All right. One of the greatest versatile centers to win an NBA championship as Johnson.
Who?
You're already done because he plays center. You remember that?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh, that don't count.
That don't count.
No, that don't count.
Hey, man.
Because he plays.
Right,
oh my gosh.
So here's a question for you, man. Right now, man. Who do you think you pattern your game after in the NBA?
Well, my favorite player of all time is T-Mac. So.
Oh man, yes, indeed.
Yeah. So, as far as like his athleticism and his like just the way he moves on the court, I try to, pat my game after him. And I also watch a lot of like KD. I'm trying to get my mid range and face up game like KD because he's one of the best scorers that the game has ever seen. So.
Oh, we're back.
Okay, there we go.
So you're trying to pattern your game after KD. He has a very good game. I really like his game.
Yeah. Pure score.
Absolutely. I was watching one of your videos the other night, and something that I was hoping I was able to post it, but I'm going to post it on Facebook for people to look at. One of the things I watched you do is you know how to do back cuts very well. You know how to make a player come up on you because they know you can shoot and then go behind them. and then you went to the rack with force, man. I really appreciate seeing that, how you did that. A lot of people don't really want to do that anymore, do those back cuts. They just want to stay all the way behind the arc and just throw it up
Yeah,
in the
behind
air.
the three
But
and stuff like that. Yeah, there was a point in time that I was like that, and then I was like, like, because I've always been, trying to move without the ball and get easy points and stuff, and then I got to a point where I was just outside majority of the time. So I'm like, nah, I got to get back to. Hello.
I just got infiltrated, man. I got infiltrated. I don't even know what to do with
Right,
this right now.
right.
Hi,
Right.
Kenny.
That's how it goes sometimes, man. How
Yes,
you
it
doing?
does, man. He said, "How you doing?"
Tell him I miss him.
She said she misses you, and she said, "Oh,
Miss you
there's
too.
Mike."
Miss you too.
Tell your wife I said hello.
I definitely will.
How's the family? Good?
Yeah, everybody's good. Everybody's good. No
Good.
complaints over here.
Good.
Oh, no. There was one complaint you made earlier. He said he doesn't understand that North Carolina heat.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm not quite sure why you
Like
smell
I
like
said, I ain't never
gasoline.
letting that go. That's gonna stay.
Hey, man, listen, Kenny, man. Um, I greatly appreciate you coming out today, man. I hope to see you again real soon. Um,
Yeah, absolutely.
let's try to do this in the next few weeks or so, like that, man. And I hope you get back to go
Yeah,
back
no
to the
doubt.
league, man. I hope you get back to the league, man, and get back out there and do what you do. A lot of people don't realize that, like you said, it's a business. And that if they took it like a business, they could become very successful. Instead of worrying about how popular they can be and
Yeah,
everybody trying to, feed their egos and think about how they can do what they need to do to make things work with their family, they could be successful overseas as a ball player, family man, the whole bit.
yeah. Like and I try to tell guys all the time. Actually, I got to ask this yesterday. A guy was asking me like if I'm overseas, like partying and stuff like that. I told him I was like, honestly, I was like, I don't really care to party and all that overseas because like when I'm over there to do a job. I'm trying to be over there trying to do my job, get paid, take care of my family, and go home. Like, and guys, you can lose yourself when you're over there and you're doing too much, like partying and spending money and all this other stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, it's good to let loose every now and again, but I've seen a bunch of guys lose their self and get caught up in a whole bunch of nonsense because they I don't know if I want to say taking things for granted or they're not being smart. It's just listen, it's a business, so I'd rather go ahead and do my job and go home rather than be out and partying and be put in a position to risk it all. Like I'm not if I have to choose, I'm never risking it all.
I don't blame you, man. I don't blame you, man. So listen, man. What's your percentage on the threes out there, man?
This year, I think um, it was. I think I ended like 35 or 36. I was shooting like 40, but I broke my hand. Um,
Yeah.
I broke my hand.
So you back at
We
it
back?
again. Yeah, we're back.
Okay.
So you said that you. Whoa. Okay, there we go. We're spinning again. So Kenny was saying that he was at like 36%. He was at 40-some% at one point. Then he broke his hand back in December, and then when he
Yeah.
came back to play, it wasn't the same anymore. But it's getting better though, because I saw some of the workouts that you was doing. It looked like you was doing some good things out there.
Yeah. I mean, it was definitely getting better. Like before the whole COVID thing started happening, I was playing pretty well. I was back for I think maybe 5 games.
There we go. Now we got you back. So, question, man. So you're going back to Italy next year once everything is back on track.
I don't know. I don't know.
So let me ask you
why I
this.
was telling you earlier. That's the tough thing. We don't know. We don't know what's going on.
Well, I know this much. For all those out there, Kenny is not only just a basketball legend in Connecticut, but he's a basketball legend overseas. But he also has his own Kiss the Trade brand. When you guys get a chance, go on his website and take a look at what he has. He has some really nice sweatsuits. He has those real European shorts, like the real European type shorts that are really nice and they're thick and they're really, you're going to have to wash them once they get dirty. You're going to need to wash them. All right, man. Listen, Kenny, man, it's great seeing you, man.
There'll definitely be a lot of stuff coming soon.
Hey, man, any last words of wisdom before you go?
Nah, I appreciate everybody for tuning in, and for those up and coming guys that are trying to, doing their time in college and trying to come out and make it overseas. Y'all just keep working hard, man. Like this overseas life is not going anywhere. NBA is not going anywhere. So y'all go ahead and y'all do y'all thing in school, get it done, and then when it's time for y'all to come out, y'all make the right decision and get to it.
Hey, man, Kenny, it was great having you. Listen, everybody, this is Kenny Horton from New York. He's from the Big O. People don't know about the Big O in New York.
Yes, sir.
Yes, indeed. He came over to Connecticut and he ripped it up at Central. He graduated with a double major, for all those that don't know. Then he went ahead and went overseas and been playing ball for 8 years. He's a family man, and he's been very successful at what he's doing. So he's already has a blueprint that if you guys would just get an opportunity to talk with him, he would navigate you in the direction that would best fit your life because he knows what he's doing. If you don't know what you're doing, you ain't going to spend that much time in the overseas playing ball if you don't know what you're doing. So he knows the game. He knows how to get it done. So make sure you guys get to him and talk to him. And, listen, Kenny, thanks again. We'll get caught up again soon in the next few weeks, man. Do another one and reach out to some more people. But listen, everybody, be good to one another. Love one another. Stay in touch with one another. God bless you, man. Thanks a lot, Kenny.
Stay safe, y'all. Appreciate it.
All right.